I take a couple losses in 1 year. But I'm gon' buy like it's my last year. Some niggas tryna take me, I don't care. She come and stand up in a room.
What's going on, guys? This is Guala Beatz. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how I like to make beat videos. Gonna be going over a couple of different ways to do it, all the way from start to finish. So let's get into it. I get most of my visuals from Tumblr. I'm following enough channels where like I can just kind of go into my feed, look for stuff like this one's pretty cool. Then you can search for shit like space GIF. And then obviously you get like some crazy shit. A one that I like a lot is like neon GIF. You can get some really cool ones. And so yeah, just like add them to your likes. Just try out different names, different words, different keywords, a bunch of stuff. And if you find one that you like, I like going to the channel and then just like going through their stuff, seeing if there's something else I like. Like the colors on this one are pretty sick. I'll play some beats and then I'll just kind of go through my likes. So just some like recent beats I got. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. Shit, like this one's crazy. One that I actually made recently. So it's this beat, watch my back. And then I came across this picture right here. And then I thought that was dope. So right click, save image as, save it. I got a cool pics folder. I open up Premiere. Premiere is what I use. You could also use iMovie. I know people use Windows Movie Maker, I believe it's called. It's all basically the same stuff. So open up your like pictures and images folder. You just toss that bad boy in there. And then take your beat. Usually take a wave. This is pretty cool by itself, just because it's like a cool like aesthetic kind of picture. But some of the stuff I like to do a lot is I go to effects over here and then throw in noise. A lot of people do this. So what this is gonna do basically is just like dirty it up a bit.
I'm the trash man.
So yeah, just dirty it up a bit, have it playing. Some people like to have it playing. Me personally, I don't. You just click this, but before we do that, another thing I like to do is fast color is add a color corrector to it. So I like the colors a lot on this, but something that I like doing a lot is saturating it. Ooh, look at that. I like going a little too much and then kind of dialing it back a bit to just like feeling it out. Like that's crazy, but like it's just a bit too much. And so maybe like right here is good. And then if you want to like fuck with the colors too, like you can mess with like the dark or light if you think it's like too light or too dark. But usually I like pictures that are like pretty complete already, and then I'll just like add saturation to them. But if you ever need to like color correct, just fast color corrector, just drag it on. And then, so we got the noise playing. I don't want the noise playing though. I kind of want it to be a static image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click export frame here and then go in the project and then just drag it in. And so what it's going to do is going to take like a screenshot of this moment and then just drag in the screenshot. So now when I play it, it's just like that. Another thing is when you export your videos, YouTube for some reason is going to like desaturate them a little bit. So if the video looks like this, when you upload it to YouTube, it's gonna look like this. I'm not sure why it does that, but that's another reason I just like to saturate it a bit, because by the time it gets to YouTube, it's gonna desaturate. So that's one way you do it. I'm gonna show you how to do it if I wanted to do a GIF for this one. All right, so I picked out a GIF I like this one. So I'm gonna right click, save image as. This one is saving as a GIF, so we got lucky with this one. A lot of Tumblr GIFs are going to save as WebPs, and that doesn't work in Premiere. I don't think it works in iMovie. If that happens, I'm going to put a timestamp for the video on where you can skip to like convert it, but it's not much of a problem. It's just like if it's a GIF, it's just easier. So I got that GIF. So when you got this, you just want to play it real quick. Just want to make sure it plays all the way, because sometimes, okay, so this one's good. A lot of the time you're gonna toss a GIF in here and it's gonna like pause like over here. If that ever happens, I'm gonna put another timestamp on how to fix that, because it took me so long to figure out how to fix that. But now that I know how to fix it, oh my god, it saves me so much time. You guys are gonna fucking like love me for this. Like this one's pretty good. I don't need to saturate it too much, but I might just saturate it anyways just to check it out. So just play with it. Like that looks pretty crazy. Just get that feeling, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Make sure that it's frame accuracy here. You want to get it right on the frame, and then copy and paste a couple times, copy and paste a couple times. Delete the extra. Bada bing, bada boom. It's really easy as that. Beautiful. And then the last way you can do it, the thing where like, and then you got the background kind of blurred out. So you go into sequence settings, you change this to 1280 by 720, scale it up. There we go. And then what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to copy this, make sure this is clicked, because this is where it pastes. And then you're gonna take the bottom one, you're gonna scale it up, and then in effects you're gonna do blur. You want the Gaussian blur, and then you make sure repeat edge pixels, and then blur it out. Repeat edge pixels is just gonna get rid of that little black. So I like to usually do like around 30. I like to do it enough where like it looks like the picture's like at the forefront and this is just like the background. I think it looks kind of more elite that way, but do whatever you want. And then copy, make sure both of these are picked up so that you just copy and paste it. And then basically the same way as the other one, just copy and paste, copy. So now that I showed you the different ways to do it, let me show you my export settings. So you go to export media, name it. Now honestly, when I export it like a bunch of different times. Like sometimes I'll export it like 3 or 4 different times with like different saturations and different noise levels. Because every time you export it, it's gonna kind of compress it a bit. So it's gonna come out different than what you're looking at in Premiere. So definitely export it a few different times and then see what the final product is, and then base your decision on which video to post based on which final product you like the best, not based on which one in Premiere you like the best, because again, it's going to look a little different. So height and the width, I usually leave the way it is. If it's like something small, like let's say the square was like 500 by 500, I'll just like undo this and then I'll just like scale it up so that it's like 1,000 by 1,000, but this one doesn't have that issue because we did the widescreen. Frame rate, I like to put to 60. I'll show you why. Render at maximum depth. Leave that alone. And I do 2-pass, and then I like to do 15 or higher. So, and then make sure maximum render quality is up and use previews are up. So the reason I like to do 60 is because if it's not, then usually when you do 2-pass, you can't go above 14. But for some reason I noticed when it's 14 it just comes out slightly worse looking, and when it's 15 and higher it just comes out slightly better looking. I feel like there's some kind of like line that it crosses when it's 15 and up that just makes it look a little bit better. I haven't really noticed like a big difference at any other interval, so it could just be all in my head, but based on I've like exported a lot of videos, and based on all the videos I've exported, that's like kind of what it seems to me like. Yeah, these are my settings. Oh, by the way, yeah, H264 custom, and then yeah, all this stuff. If for some reason you have like a super big GIF, or usually GIF or picture, you can just do like 1 pass and like maybe like 10. Because sometimes if I have like a super HD video and I'm trying to export it, it'll take like literally an hour. So I'll just do it low, and then if it comes out good, it'll come out good. The other way is like gameplay videos that I used to do, but YouTube's like really hard on reused content for monetization. Like if you take gameplay videos, like they won't let you monetize it unless you have like commentary. So it's kind of a slippery road. I had to like delete all my videos that were like that, which was really hard for me because I had like a lot of sentimental value attached to those videos, but whatever. I try to avoid them now. As long as you do something creative like this, like YouTube's cool and they'll let you monetize, so that's fine. Thing, if it saves as a WebP instead of a GIF, like this one, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to Google WebP to GIF and then lossless. Because if you don't do lossless, it's gonna give you like this one, easy GIF, which kind of makes it look shitty. I like typing in lossless and doing these. Just convert it to a GIF and then toss it in there. Okay, so I've had this problem forever, and it took me forever to figure out how to do it. Sometimes when you download a GIF and then you play it in Premiere, it'll be weird and it will pause at random spots like this, and I'll have no idea how to fix it. So I figured out the way to solve this is to download this thing called Handbrake. It's a free plugin. And then you're gonna pick the GIF out, and then click on video. Drag this all the way up to keep this, like, keeps the quality up. H26 frame rate, you're gonna want to put it to 60, and then you're gonna want to make sure constant frame rate is up, and then just name it whatever, and then click start. It's gonna like take the frame rate, just keep it constant, whatever the hell that means. But it's gonna make it not glitch out as much. Bada bing, bada boom, smooth as butter. Love that. Perfect. It's perfect. You love to see it. So yeah, this drove me crazy for a million years. Finally figured it out, thanks to Handbrake, the plugin from God. Love it. Love to see it. So yeah, if you ever have that problem, Handbrake will save your life. Oh yeah, last problem you might have is YouTube quieting down your videos a lot. I have this problem all the time. You just kind of got to throw it into this thing called Loudness Penalty. Usually if YouTube's like lowering your videos, it's either because your beat's compressed or just because it's mixed too loud. So I noticed, see this one, Devotion, when it was on my iTunes, it was going to be lowered a lot. I like to stick around like -2 to maybe -5 is like the most I'll do. This one's -4.6, so it's not too bad. But I went in and I noticed the 808 was pretty loud compared to the rest of the beat, so I just went in and I lowered it a bit. Usually it's because like you're just mixing it too loud, so just like go into FL, lower some, so it's at like 3, so it's like manageable. So I threw it back in and then export it, and then you'll probably see it drop at some point. But yeah, definitely keep your eye out, because if it's like -8, it's gonna sound awful, because someone's gonna play it on YouTube. It's gonna sound super quiet. It's just gonna sound unmixed. It's just gonna sound bad. So around the -1 to like -5 range is where you want to keep it. Yeah, that's literally it. That's all I do for beat videos. So if you guys want to see any other kind of video, let me know. I'm taking requests all week, so enjoy. Let me know if you guys have any questions.